All right, we all know that Donald Trump has always had a obsession with size, either the crowd size or the ratings, or I mean, his entire life. It's all about ratings. It's all about looking the best. It's all about claiming that you were the best, you won, and all that. And that's shown through everything, even what he loves the most. Well, what he loves the second most, not Ivanka, his golf. He'll have these big tournaments at his clubs, and he'll have people legitimately playing the tournaments. And at the end of the play, he would call the person in charge of the scoring, and he would say, and this is all documented, he would say, well, I did that last week, and I got 59 or whatever. And he would give himself the winning score and hence win the championship or whatever the hell it is. That is what he actually does. I mean, he does it all the time, to the point where serious golfers don't play his tournaments because it doesn't matter if you win or not. You're never going to win. Donald Trump is always going to win. That's a fact. That actually happens in real life. And he's known for it. So it's no, And he's so obsessed that literally Kamala Harris made one comment about crowd size, and he's been on a spin ever since. He's been going after everything she's ever claimed. This McDonald's thing is just proof of it all. He's been saying she never worked there, she never worked there, she never worked there. And his mouthpieces are, where's your employment records? Where's your employment records? Yet everything Donald Trump does with mountains of evidence, they're like, nope, that doesn't exist. That's fake. Nope. I can't hear you. La, 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 la. And the hypocrisy doesn't hit them at all. They can't tell how ridiculous that is. She worked at McDonald's in the 80s. They don't keep employment records 40 years. So yeah, chances are her part-time job, But Trump went to the point of specifically working at the fry station, because that's what he, and made a big deal out of him making fries, but yet he couldn't even follow, health department rules. No gloves, didn't wash his hands that we saw. And he even said, no human hand is touching the fries. But he made such a big deal out of this stunt, closed down the McDonald's for a day, which is really inconvenient for the people who, go there to eat. But he had to have, no thought whatsoever for anyone else. No thought. It's like him and the Hurricanes going in front of that store that got blown down the day after the hurricane, when all these people were literally drowning in their homes and needed to be rescued. He blocks off the roads for an entire morning right after the hurricane, when people are actually still fighting for their lives, to do a press opportunity. And he took the rubble and built a wall. This is how this man actually cares about people. Standing in front of somebody's business after it was destroyed, which probably means their home got destroyed too, or at least they lost everything in the business. And he takes pieces of the rubble as part of his photo op. He tells people at his rallies that are begging for the air conditioner to be turned on because it's not turned on because he's too cheap to actually pay the bill. He tells them to turn up the music so he can't hear them complaining about it. And he does that on camera. A man passed out, one of two that passed out at one of his rallies last week. When he was put on the gurney, he started making fun of and saying that he wouldn't have passed out if he wasn't so fat, if he wasn't so out of shape. This is a man who can't walk from one hole to the next on the golf course. This is a man who has lived his entire life on nose candy and fried chicken and McDonald's. That's who's lecturing people about being in shape. That's who's also telling the Christians how to be a good father and a great husband and like Christ. That man has all of you people jumping through hoops blindly because he said so, when all he does out in the open in front of everybody is hurt people. And you all still think for some reason that he's after this to help you and he cares about you. He's one of you. He literally craps in a gold toilet. It's probably gold plated, but still. He's just like you. He's never had a job in his life. And he's telling everyone else that the auto union workers, the same people that he did all these press things in front of. Oh, wait, no, they weren't actual auto union workers. They were paid to pretend to be auto union workers and paid to hold signs saying they were auto union workers. But they weren't, because it was staged, because he shows that in front of you guys, and you guys actually think he's there with auto union workers. He did it again in Detroit, actually, too. Yeah, right here in Detroit, right? About this whole, besides the auto union worker scam, he did that black church about, 4 months ago, whatever it was. Remember that? It was all white people in a black church, and all they showed was the dozen or so black people on stage. That's all they showed, but when they panned out, it was all white with hats, in church, with hats, by the way. Catholic, I'm just saying. He doesn't care. Then right after the black church, the same afternoon, he went to a white nationalist luncheon in his honor. That's what he actually did. The only thing that he pretends to do that he cares is all an act. For Christ's sakes, he did a GoFundMe, raised $13 million, kept 90% of it for his legal fees or his whatever, but not having anything to do with the campaign. That's specified. That's the second time he did that. The only actual person that was at the Butler thing, the sacrifice, yeah, he raised $15 million for the victims of Butler, and he kept 90% of that too. People still donated. He said he paid for all these trucks going to the hurricane area to help people out, which were actually Samaritan's Purse trucks, which is a nonprofit he had nothing to do with. But once he made that correlation, when he was caught trying to take all the money from the thing, he had to add to the GoFundMe where these funds would go. And he very carefully worded it and said a portion of them is chosen to be split between, and he named Samaritan's Purse and about 5 other things. The question is what portion? The question is, was it ever given? Because we know in the past from him, child's cancer charities and things like that. He has screwed charities over left and right, veterans charities. He did it the whole campaign. That is who this man is. And you guys aren't putting 2 and 2 together and recognizing, especially the veterans. How much disrespect can one man show to the military, and you still stand behind him? You got to look deep into the mirror with that. God bless you. Thank you for your service. But right now, not recognizing that you need to protect this country right now, again, you're betraying your oath. That is what you're doing. I have respect for you. Thank you for your service, but your service ended then. Right now, you're doing the opposite. That's just a fact. Hate on me all you want for saying it. But now's the time you need to defend this Constitution. And you can't at all ever try and pretend that he defends the Constitution, because there's enough evidence there that he doesn't, including him saying it himself on many different reasons in many different ways. Do the research before you stand behind your military service that was earned as a hero and use that as an excuse to help torpedo the democracy of this country. That's not a hero stuff. That's a traitor stuff. Look deep in the mirror, man, woman, whoever you are. You're losing your hero status doing this stupid shit. Stay diligent, stay educated, and be kind. We are all in this together. 2024 election is our last chance to fix it.